Cancel, eyes on tandem. Eyes on.
Chair! Chair! I'll get this up for you.
He's strapped up like a bag of shit.
Well, we're not going to throw you out loose, are we? Right, this should come off now, Jock. Once you've got your glove.
No,
that's right. Okay, ready?
Step you out of that, mate.
Get rid of that walk. I got you.
Hey, you had me sliding my arse. I've got a boulder up my arse.
Here's your bury, mate.
Yeah.
You ready, Jock?
Carry on.
Best jump I've ever done, that, mate.
You can see you jumped into Normandy with the last member of the 13th Battalion.
Oh, mate, that's absolute honour, mate. That. Bottom on that. The guys coming in.
Stand by the fence. You grab me back, grab the chair.
Better off standing.
We're going to stand you up for the actual salute.
Is it?
Yeah, we're just going to wait for Harry to gather himself and come and sit down, so. Too easy for you, isn't it, Jock?
Wake me up in the valley.
We bring Jock over so they're together. Oh, just. One single file next to them.
You're on that side, Mike.
Move. Tell him to move. Tell him to move his camera.
TV, can you get out of the way?
What would you like to hear? So you have to speak up.
Would you like a cup of coffee or water or anything? I'll follow you on it. A cup of coffee, milk, sugar. Three sugars, milk.
Two sugars.
Two sugars.
How did it feel to jump after all these years?
How do I feel?
Yes.
Top of the moon. Yes. Must realise that Harry and I both jumped into Normandy during the war. You know, so this was a reincarnation of it. Quite enjoyable too.
Much more enjoyable than the first one.
Sorry, speak up.
More enjoyable than the first one.
Well, you know, it's a changed world, you know, for military kit and so on. I'm surprised we got away with it in Normandy that night, because we dropped into the Pegasus Bridge area during the night of 5th, 6th of June, 6 hours before the beach landings we landed.
We're glad you made it through too.
Oh, but like everybody else, you live for a wee while, and then suddenly you get battered a bit, and I did. And I had to be sent back to England. But then I came back 3 weeks later and joined the battalion, Portlavic.
Is the sensation the same or different every time you do it?
Say again?
Is the sensation the same or is it different every time you do it?
Well, you know, as an old man, you have very few feelings. Same as me at the age of 19 when I came here. You know, you're prepared to take the world down.
Why do you keep jumping, Jock? What makes you keep jumping?
Forced into it. And I get no money for it either. You know, if you look at the graveyard here, there's a hell of a lot of guys. They're buried here, and at my age, and I made a promise that, after all, this is my 3rd drop into, you know, the 65th anniversary, which I did, out of the helicopter, and the 70th, which I did here, and now the 75th. I can't believe the time has gone so fast, because I was an orphan, so I had no other option but to be in the army as a boy. And here I am today. I've been a bit scared, but sorry, you're saying?
How important is it to you that we still remember 75 years on and everyone is still remembering?
Still,
Remembering
sorry, I don't get that.
How important is it for you to carry on remembering what happened 75 years ago? and
Oh,
keep
I
on-
see. Yeah. Well, perhaps this is going to be the last time, for me anyway, because I'm 94 now. I'm 95 in October, and my wife and I have been married for 69 years now, and you know, I'm sad to say that she's not very well at all now at the moment. So I took a chance and nipped out the back door this morning. And here I am. What's that?
What were you thinking just before you jumped?
Thank God I'm out. No, I enjoyed the actual fall, and you know, I've done a lot of free falling myself, you know, with especially a service.
How were the French when you got here? Were they happy to see you? The French people here, were they happy to see you?
Well, we landed in the dark, and going towards Ronville, I could see movement at the side. The Germans were firing from sidecars at us, but they were just going for random shots, just because it was very difficult to pick us up. We had the clickers, you know, the things for you know, people to be recognisable in the dark.
And the French, were they happy? The French.
Well, they thought we were German soldiers on an exercise initially, but as soon as they realised, as soon as we got close to Ronville, because remember our main target was to get to Ronville and put on mortar positions before first light, and then we'd a naval guy jumped with us that night, who was our forward observation man, and he got right in the high ground, and that allowed us to slam some mortar shells down first light. and it caused a few brown underpants amongst the Jerrys, you know. Sorry, but yeah. But
The French people, they were happy to see you.
oh yes, but the Calvados was highly dangerous because they rushed outside with Calvados. They say, I'm a boy yet, but I soon arrived at manhood. It stunted my growth, all this jumping.
Thank you very much.
You don't want that.
Caitlin from PA, we spoke last week.
Sorry, huh?
Sorry, Caitlin from PA, we spoke last week.
You have to yell at me.
Never mind.
I can't
How
hear.
was it?
Yes. How
How
was the
was
jump
it?
for you? We spoke last week in your home.
It was pleasing, and it was a relief to get the 75th anniversary off, because looking out of the aircraft, you know, the thick mist was coming up, and I thought, oh, all this bloody way, and we're not going to get it out of the aircraft. But anyway, we did, and here we are.
Here you are.
Well, it's a nasty DZ, a nasty drop, especially as I landed in a bunch of boulders in my rear end. But anyway, I enjoyed it. It's great to be back in French soil. Oh, you guys?
Yeah.
Well, I'm amongst young soldiers all the time, you know, in the parachute regiment, and I am invited up to the camp at Colchester, parachute regiment. I get invited to a number of places, but yes, well, all I can say is it's great to be back, and I'm very pleased to be back firmly in my legs again.
Was it not very comfy in the plane?
Well, you know, we're a bit jammed in, but coming over here in 1944, we came across an Albemarle aircraft with a big hole dug through the fuselage at the back. They stopped using them as bombers. There were two-engined aircraft, and they were the world's worst aircraft to get people. Remember, we carried heavy kit bags on our leg straps for the war, and indeed we couldn't do a standard drop out of it. We had to crawl to the hole and put our leg out, and of course we shot out with the weight there. It just tugged us away. It was shocking.
Jock, you're live on the British Army News Channel. What have you got a message for young soldiers who are coming up through the ranks now? What advice would you give them with your experience?
Well, a message to them: run fast if somebody fires at you.
How do you feel coming back here? Is there sadness for people?
Well, of course, that's what urged me to come back. You know, I promised my friends in the 13th Battalion that I'd come and visit them every year if I could. Okay, you say they don't know and one thing and that, but it gives me satisfaction to know that, well, I'm here and I'm still on my two stumps and still raring to go. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for freedom. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank
The
you.
mayor of Toulon. The mayor of Toulon.
The mayor?
Yes. The
You're,
mayor.
you're
He
not
want
the
to
mayor of
present
the whole of France.
mayor of Toulon. It is this village here, Sannerville and Toulon, the same village. I want to present you the badges for the 75th anniversary.
Oh, many thanks indeed. I've got the badge for the 70th,
Yes,
which I did.
and this one is for the 75th.
It's lovely, sir.
Yes, yes.
Many thanks indeed. Parachute Regiment tie.
Yes, I am an honorary member of the Parachute Regiment
Are you?
Association.
Yes, voilà.
Good.
Okay.
I've got this,
Félicitations.
the Legion of Honour in my medals.
Yes. Good. Thank you so
I
much.
was rather hoping against hope that I'd be called to Paris and be presented by the French president.
Yeah, yes.
Not to be, sit down, you old bastard. Excuse me.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.